And today's Monday Fun Day lesson is compound sentences. Starting with the definition of a compound sentence, it joins two independent clauses together with a coordinating conjunction or a semicolon. So when you think about a compound sentence, compound means you're combining things together. So a compound sentence has one independent clause plus one independent clause put together in one sentence. So this is the formula that I just said, independent clause plus independent clause. Now, we have already covered that term, but if you don't remember what an independent clause is, it's just a fancy term for a complete thought or a complete sentence. So any complete sentence is an independent clause. An independent clause is a clause that can stand alone. Okay, elaborating a little bit on what we just talked about. It's a group of words that contains a subject and a verb, and it expresses a complete thought. So, I like pizza. We enjoy going to the movies. Santa Claus is cool. Woohoo! Any short, complete thought like that is a complete sentence and an independent clause. So if we are focusing on compound sentences, one of the reasons that you need to know how to use them and how to punctuate them correctly is because if you don't, you're just going to end up with a bunch of simple sentences. And a simple sentence is an independent clause, okay? Like, I like pizza, or bring me that donut. Now, simple sentences have their place in writing for sure. However, when you use too many simple sentences in a row, your writing becomes choppy. So you need to know how to use compound sentences, among other things, to help the flow of your writing be smoother. So examples of two simple sentences, two independent clauses, are the cat was happy, he gobbled down the fish. Now, if we had a whole paragraph with sentences that were that length, that would be very awkward and choppy. So we would want to perfect the flow by adding in sentences of different lengths, like a compound sentence. So an example of how to combine those two is the cat was happy, so he gobbled down the fish. Okay, so there are actually three ways that we are going to talk about to combine independent clauses in order to make a compound sentence. So the first way is just by adding a comma and a coordinating conjunction, remember also known as a FANBOYS conjunction. The second way is just adding a semicolon, and the third way, our fancy way if you remember, is by adding a conjunctive adverb. And if you have two independent clauses, complete sentences, simple sentences, whatever you want to call them, and you put them together in one of these three methods, then you are forming a compound sentence. Okay, so these are examples of compound sentences that are joined with a comma and a FANBOYS conjunction. The teens walked to the park, comma, but it was closed. And the little baby liked music, comma, so he began singing. And the second way and third way that we're going to talk about just quickly, because this is a little bit of a review, to form a compound sentence is semicolon and conjunctive adverb. So you can also use a semicolon to create a compound sentence since the two statements are equal. You use semicolons to join together equal statements that are related. So for example, the teacher scolded the class, semicolon, the kids threw tomatoes at her. Haha, not funny. And then the second one, if you want to be fancier with your semicolon, just make sure you have the semicolon and comma in the right spots. The baby penguin scarfed the regurgitated fish, semicolon. Obviously, which is an adverb, comma, it was hungry. And that is it. That was basically compound sentenences in a nutshell. So just to recap, we are going to do a phrase that pays to make sure that you watch through to the end of the video. And the phrase that pays, which you will need to know for your video quiz, is two simple sentences joined together form a compound sentence. So I guess it's a sentence that pays. See you in class.